If you save just $5 a day by skipping your daily Starbucks, cutting back on pricey Uber Eats, or resisting the temptation to buy new Fortnite skins and instead invested it with an average annual return of 10% in 45 years, you'd have nearly $1.6 million. I've shared this idea before, and while many people are amazed at how saving a small amount every day can grow into a fortune, there's always three common hate comments I get. The first is, I don't want to save, I want to enjoy my money while I'm young. The second, I don't want to be a millionaire when I'm old and grey like you, I want it now. And the third, what kind of investment actually gives me these returns over the long term? After hearing these doubts time and time again, I thought, why not put it to the test once and for all? That's why I'm kicking off a year-long challenge to show you that investing $5 a day doesn't have to feel like a sacrifice and can lead to real, measurable returns. First, I'll walk you through exactly how I'm setting up my investments. Then we'll fast forward to reveal my results 1 year later. Yes, by the time you're watching this video, a whole year will have passed, so hopefully everything went to plan. Before we start, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing the knowledge that has allowed me to become a millionaire investor. Right, so step one is to find a platform. For this investing challenge, I've got a few non-negotiables when it comes to what I'm looking for in a platform. And if you ever want to do something like this yourself, these are the things you'll want to keep in mind too. Let's break them down. The first thing, of course, is low fees, because you don't want your potential profits eaten up by unnecessary charges. The next thing is a beginner-friendly interface. Although I'm confident with complicated investing terms, I know most beginners that want to try out this challenge will be put off if it looks too confusing, so we need something that's simple to understand. Security is such an important one. What's the point of investing if my money isn't safe? So I'll need a platform that is fully protected by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. This compensates you for up to £85,000 in the UK in case something happens to the platform. However, bear in mind this protection doesn't protect you from investment losses. We also need a platform that accepts pretty low minimum deposits, because this is of course a $5 a day challenge. Next we need some kind of automatic investing feature, as there's no way I'm going to be remembering to invest $5 every single day without automating it. You might be better at remembering than me, but my boomer brain is getting pretty old. Finally, we'll need access to fractional shares. This will allow us to invest in high-priced stocks without needing to fork out hundreds of dollars to buy an entire share up front. For example, Apple is, as of August 2023, trading at around $178 per share, which clearly doesn't work with our $5 a day budget. But with fractional shares, we can invest any amount we want, no matter how small. There are other features you might prioritize. However, these things are my non-negotiables. Now, if you're doing this challenge too, feel free to use whatever platform has these features. I've used a lot of investing platforms in my lifetime, and one of my favorites is Trading 212, as it ticks all of these boxes. So that's the platform I'm going to be using for this challenge. Right, let's move on to step 2, which is to open and fund an account. When it comes to this step, there's one key decision that many people overlook, a decision that can make or break your long-term results. And if you're taking on the $5 a day challenge like I am, this choice becomes even more critical. This is because the type of account you choose will determine how much of your profits you actually end up keeping. Let me explain. There are two main types of accounts we need to consider. For now, let's call them Account A and Account B. Now, let's imagine we've got $2,000 to invest. We'll split it equally between both boxes. So $1,000 goes into account A and $1,000 goes into account B. At first, everything looks the same. Both accounts have the same amount of money invested, but here's where things start to change. When you use account A, your profits aren't entirely yours to keep, and that's because of the dreaded tax man. First, he takes a slice of your dividend earnings. Dividends are like a reward companies give their shareholders. Now, not all companies pay them, but many do. how much the taxman takes depends on your income and tax bracket. So the more you earn, the bigger the slice he takes. Next, he takes even more for capital gains tax. This happens when you sell an investment for more than you paid for it. In the UK, capital gains tax is typically 10 to 20%. In the US, long-term capital gains tax rates range from 0 to 20% based on your income level. Now, what about the money in account B? Well, this account has special protections that stop the taxman from reaching in and taking your profits. Everything you make here is yours to keep. That's because account B is known as a tax-advantaged account. Meanwhile, account A is just a general investing account. In my humble opinion, you shouldn't even be looking at a general investing account until you've fully taken advantage of everything a tax-advantaged account has to offer. So, how do you do that? Well, it depends on where you live. In the UK, our tax-advantaged accounts are called stocks and shares ISAs, and in the US, they're known as Roth IRAs. Both of these special accounts come with incredible tax benefits, but there are a few things to keep in mind. In the UK, you can contribute up to £20,000 per year into an ISA. In the US, Roth IRA contributions are capped at $6,500 each year, or $7,500 if you're over 50. For most people, these limits are plenty, allowing you to build your future while still covering living expenses. The ISA allows you to withdraw money at any time, tax-free, which makes it very flexible. So while a general investing account isn't necessarily a bad option, it often falls short when it comes to maximising your money. Of course, if a tax advantage account isn't available where you live, you'll have no other choice but to use option A, a general investing account. I'm going to use option B, a stocks and shares ISA, because when we pull the money out of this box at the end of the year, we want to keep as much as possible. As I mentioned earlier, I use Trading 212 all the time and already have an account, but for this challenge, I wanted to show you the process of starting fresh. That's why I've asked my son Curtis to step in and take on the challenge using his account. If you also want to set up an account and join in with the challenge, just head over to their website or download their app from the App Store. The setup process is pretty straightforward. The only part you might need a bit of clarification on is choosing the right account type. You'll be met with 4 options like this. At the top is the general investing account we spoke about earlier. Underneath is the CFD account for short-term trading, which we don't need to worry about. At the bottom is the cash ISA, and right here is the stocks ISA. This is the account I'd open if I were you. Now, assuming you've set up your account, head over to this tab and select Use Promo Code and enter TILBURY, Tilbury, and you'll get a free fractional share worth up to £100 when you fund your account. Now, I know this sounds too good to be true, but they're offering this because I reached out to them to see if they'd be interested in sponsoring this portion of the video, and they agreed. So next, let's fund the account. Click this button here. You'll see a few options, including instant bank transfer, normal bank transfer, card, or Google Pay. If you're using the iPhone app, I believe you'll also have the option of Apple Pay as well. I'm going to go with instant bank transfer and deposit £35 from my son's bank account, as that will cover us enough to invest £5 a day for the next 7 days. Now, you don't need to deposit for an entire week ahead in one go. This is just the way I'm choosing to do it. And yes, I know the title says $5 a day, but I'm in the UK, so I'm putting £5 in, which is actually just a little bit more. The most common mistake I see people make when investing is assuming that once they put some money into an account like this, their money will automatically start to grow. Let me make one thing very clear. This box only protects your money from tax. It doesn't actually invest it for you. That's why step 3